Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Star Wars Wednesday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Star Wars The Black Series credit collection, Kuiil from the Mandalorian. Let's get into it! Let's begin our collection of credits with a look at the packaging. And pretty much this is just styled right off of those retro cards. And it's Star Wars The Mandalorian. It has a nice little bit of a chromey sheen to some of the packaging. Kuiil, Kenner. Warning, no such things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Then we have a nice bubble here, blister, on the blister card, and there's the credits, and there's the figure, and there's a piece of paper and his accessory, and it also says 4 and up assortment number, and then, you know, on the side, then on the back, Star Wars, and then some nice artwork of Kuiil. And this is, you know, like the artwork they show on the Mandalorian at the end of each episode. And I'm pretty sure that that's where this comes from. And then it says, the distinctive collection. This distinctive collection features premium deco applications inspired by the in-credit images of the Mandalorian, plus a collectible galactic credit accessory. After the fall of the Galactic Empire, usage of their form of money, Imperial credits, became less common, with many planets refusing payments in the currency on principle. And then there it is in some other languages that I don't read. Small fine legalese print, made in China print. Symbols I'm not going to learn. A barcode. Includes figure, accessory, and galactic credit. Barcode, in case I didn't say it before. And attention! Don't stick things in your French pie hole. Warning, attention, Nocturne. Don't stick things in any other language pie hole that do not belong there. And don't give it to babies. Disney print, Hasbro print. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And we've got handy dandy tweezers over here in case we need them. Just a minute. But first off, because he's the credit collection, he does come with some credits. And it does have a nice bronze or gold paint app on it. It's all the way around. So these are really cool extra pieces. If you're already collecting this line, you know, subline I should say. And then his helmet is removable. I did not realize that. Then you see it's got some nice paint apps on it there. And of course it's supposed to look more like the photos or the artwork that they show at the end of each episode of The Mandalorian as concept art. And he's got his little shotgun type weapon. And this strap is actually a separate part. It is not molded on there. So it does move somewhat. And it is a bit flexible. So that's really cool. Then another thing I thought was cool was this scarf and backpack piece. It is removable. You have to pop the head off to get it. It's really, really, really difficult to do it. I did it once. I'm not going to do it again without heat. And I'm just not going to heat it up right now. But it can be done, and it will come off. So it's not that big a deal if you don't like it. And of course we've got, you know, the speckled paint. And again, it's supposed to match that artwork from the end of each episode. Some paint here. So it has some nice looking paint apps on it, and they're interesting. And the only reason that I picked this figure up is I found it for relatively cheap, about $5-6, I think, at an Ollie's store. Otherwise, and I don't have a Kuiil, so at that price, even with this deco, I just said, okay, I can't pass that up. So here he is, the right price, all figures. So he does have some nice paint apps on his face as well. Probably the face printing technology, especially for those eyes. And he just looks pretty cool. Like I remember the character looking from the show. He looks pretty much like that. Now well, let's take a look at his articulation. I don't know why I forgot to say that. But anyway, it's on a dumbbell joint, the head, and down in the neck is the other end of the dumbbell. The neck is one piece with the torso, so he looks up that high. This really doesn't get in the way of that. He looks down that far. He's got a little bit of chicken neck. He's got a good bit of waggle. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, can raise his arm slightly better than 90 degrees, it looks like. And he does have a full 360 degrees there. Single hinge and swivel at the elbow. Swivels around 360 degrees. And it gives you that much bend, so not even 90 degrees worth of bend. 360 degree rotation at the wrist on an in and out hinge, and the other side is an in and out hinge as well. Now there is a cut at the waist, and it's on like a ball joint or a half dumbbell, something like that. So he's got plenty of hula in there. He can lean to the left and the right. He can lean back that far and forward that far. He can also do a 360 degree rotation there at the waist. At the hips, now this overlay might get in the way just a little bit, but it goes up a little bit, so it kind of raises out of the way. So where that stops, I think, is more with the mold than this overlay. So he can give you that much of the splits. He can kick forward, not quite 90 degrees. Back, maybe about a half a step. Single hinge and swivel at the knee, swivels around 360 degrees, and gives you a little better than 90 degree of bend. At the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now as far as his accessories go, of course the credit piece, you can't really do much with that. The hat, just pop that right on his head, and the gun, due to the strap, you can slide it over his shoulder, and it doesn't really stay there too well. But he can also hold it in his hand, but the strap gets in the way. So see if it sits any better on this shoulder. Probably not. Stuff it down under that scarf a little bit. There we go, that's a little better. And there we have it, my friends, a look at Kuiil and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Star Wars The Black Series Credit Collection Mandalorian Kuiil with the Target exclusive 2-pack of Grogu and Din Djarin. And this would be the regular Deco 2-pack. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Star Wars The Black Series credit collection from The Mandalorian, Kuiil, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From the G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. Our final Star Wars The Black Series comparison, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Star Wars The Black Series, The Mandalorian Credit Collection, Kuiil, I have to say, the head sculpt on this guy is fantastic. The fact that they gave him a removable helmet, I think, was a great move. The fact that his overlay can be semi-easily removed with a little bit of heat so you can pop the head off. It doesn't want to pop off too easily. But with that done, the scarf and backpack piece are easily removed. And even with it being like that, they do sit properly on the figure. I can't really say it's a negative about it, but with this being based off of the in-credit artwork of The Mandalorian, it's not going to 100% fit in with my Mandalorian figures, seeing as how mine are all non-credit collection, the ones that I'm getting. And the only reason I got this one, I found him at Ollie's discount store for a substantial discount. I want to say I paid about $7 for it. And, you know, with that said, $7, that makes him close enough to fit in with the rest of it. And really, honestly, the colors of it, it is close enough that it fits in with the rest of the Mandalorian figures that I have. And at that price point, I'm very happy with it. I didn't have a Kuiil. I saw it at that price point. I couldn't pass it up for that, since I didn't have a Kuiil, even though this is credit collection and not the regular release. But again, I like it well enough. And plus, I got this nifty little credit piece. That does it for the review. I hope that you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you'd like to see more reviews, or just help the channel out further, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.